This is Emma Nagelstad's Rhetorical Analysis project. I did this project on the report, Stemming the Tide, Why Women Leave Engineering, written by Dr. Nadia Fawad and Dr. Ramila Singh. It was published by the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in 2011. The project objectives are to answer the question, what rhetorical strategies do the authors use to present their message to the audience, as well as to what extent are these strategies effective? Which strategies will be covered in this assignment? Page layout, text, visuals, credibility, research, and persuasion. Beginning with page layout. This report has a variety of layouts on each page. Near the beginning of the report, the authors included quotes from the women they interviewed. Each quote was listed in a box separating each one from the other. Next, they transitioned into pages that contained bits of information so the reader was not overwhelmed. Finally, in the body of the report, the authors included more information on the pages. Each page had a heading, which was followed by the relevant and related information on the particular subject. The page layout was visually appealing, logically organized, clear, accessible, varied, and relevant. A page layout example. There is ample white space, there are bold headings, the text is separated into sections, and it does not overwhelm the reader. Text, font, and color. This report used many varieties of fonts which came in all different sizes and colors. This was beneficial because it attracted the reader's attention and drew it to different parts of each page. The authors also used font to highlight the important parts of each page by making it larger and more visible. Furthermore, the colors used within the report gave each page texture and created accents. Different colors were used to separate chapters of the article and to create a background for the added graphics and illustrations. All of the fonts and colors used were professional, attractive, appropriate, and complementary to the accompanying graphics. A font and color example. In this example, they used cool colors. All the fonts are professional. The varying fonts and colors create interest, and the boxed quotes draw the reader's attention. The meaning. The purpose of the report is to inform readers on the reasons why women engineers choose to stay or leave their field. The majority of the words used are factual and include statistics or percentages that were found during the study. Nevertheless, the report has a lot of underlying social and emotional meaning due to the topic. The social issues. This report highlights injustices against women in the workplace, which is an important social issue. The authors included quotes from women who dealt with types of sexism while working as an engineer. These quotes give insight into the experience of women of different ages and different ethnicities working in a Caucasian male-dominated field. These quotes provoke emotions such as empathy or anger in the reader who may relate to the issues brought up by the article. On the other hand, the report also highlights the positives of being a woman in engineering, which can provoke positive emotions such as inspiration. Some of the quoted women shared their ability to overcome difficulties and enjoy a positive and fulfilling career as an engineer. The visuals. This report includes visuals such as column and line graphs, pie charts, and tables, as well as photographs. This report uses many different kinds of visuals to better depict percentages, trends, comparisons, and contrasts in ways that make sense. I believe that the visuals benefited the report because they consolidated the information and made it easier for the reader to understand the information. Furthermore, the authors also included photographs throughout the report. I believe that the photos were used to balance out pages where it would otherwise look unsymmetrical and awkward. The photos found throughout the report are not there to make statements. They were all related to engineering, but did not depict anything that directly related to the written information on the page. A visual example. This page is not overfilled with information. There is white space to appeal to the reader's psychology of space. The graph organizes the information, and the photo at the bottom balances out the page. This report is written by two established professors at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. They open the report by explaining the study they carried out and who was involved in it. At the end of the report, the two women included small biographies naming their achievements and titles. To begin, readers can be sure this is a scholarly source because the report was published by a university and is written by two professors. The biographies of both professors prove to the readers that the authors are established leaders in their fields. Dr. Nadia Fuad is the chair of the Department of Educational Psychology, and she holds many titles and has many achievements within that subject. The second author, Dr. Romila Singh, owns a doctorate in organizational sciences, and her studies focus on women and people of color in the workplace. Both of their degrees are related to the topic of the report, making them credible sources. Furthermore, the report includes a section that details how the experiment was executed and who funded it. Naming the National Science Foundation as the experiment sponsor tells the readers that this is a legitimate study. Finally, Dr. Nadia Fuad and Dr. Romila Singh included a complete list of references that a reader can turn to if they still have questions. Research. Dr. Nadia Fuad and Dr. Romila Singh use their own research findings within their report. They also reference the works of other researchers in order to back up their claims. The authors of this report wrote about the data they found during their study, which focused on women engineers' experience in technical workplaces. The authors reached out to female engineering alumni of 30 different universities and surveyed them. The results of the surveys, as well as direct quotes from the women, were analyzed and broken down to prove points. Furthermore, the authors also used the work of other researchers throughout the report. The external work was used to create a foundation for their findings, to compare or contrast their findings, or to make sense of their findings. A research example. The research that Dr. Nadia Fuad and Dr. Romila Singh used were all scholarly sources, such as peer-reviewed articles, journals, or dissertations. Most of the external research used was published within the past 10 years, while some of them dated back to the 1990s. Persuasion. The authors were successful in creating a report which was logical and persuasive. This report is clearly informative because it includes data and statistics. Nevertheless, the authors also included a recommendation section at the end of the report, which shows that the report is also meant to help change the reader's behavior in some way. In the recommendation section, the authors advise women on how to make a space for themselves within their company, which will help them advance through the ranks. The authors also advise potential employers on how to create a better workplace climate for women through a few different means. Their recommendations are based off the information that they found from their research. For example, they pointed out many women left engineering due to a cold work climate and undermining behavior from their colleagues. Dr. Nadia Fuad and Dr. Romila Singh recommend that employers focus on creating a better support system for women and rooting out uncivil and undermining behavior from other employees. Ethos. The authors satisfy ethos because they are both well educated on the subject of the report, making them credible and competent. Their information is well sourced and well cited, making them trustworthy and believable. Pathos. The authors satisfy pathos because they are professional and informative and use facts as opposed to opinions to make claims. Nevertheless, they are still able to stir emotions in their readers who may relate to the information within the report. The report also may stir feelings of inspiration in readers who are aspiring engineers or who want to create a better workspace for female engineers. Logos. The authors satisfy logos because they work with a reputable company, the National Science Foundation, and because they cite reputable sources. Furthermore, their report follows a logical path which builds upon the previous section and makes sense to readers. What rhetorical strategies do the authors use to present their message to the audience? The authors successfully use ethos, pathos, and logos to present their message to the audience. They also use page layout, text, and visuals in order to grab and maintain readers' attention. The page layout helps readers follow the information in a logical way without being overwhelmed by too much information on each page. The text fonts and colors help draw readers to the subject of each page and highlight quotes. Finally, the visuals help to compile information in a logical and easily understandable way. They also balanced out the pages and made them look more appealing to readers. To what extent are these strategies effective? I believe that the authors used the different strategies very effectively. The authors came across as credible sources of information on the subject and from whom a logical reader would take advice from. The purpose of the article was to inform and persuade, which was executed professionally while maintaining appeal. Thank you for listening.